Yeah. Sometimes I get so mad, there's no controlling me. My thoughts get so bad, I'm like, I might grab a bat, I don't know. My wrath, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switches how you see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me up, let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face full of pavement just to make a statement. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. I'ma poke a hole through you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating up inside of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a dynasty. I know there's no turning back. Oh God, adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning.
What is up, beautiful people? And how are you guys doing after this amazing sports weekend that we had was the NFL draft? My name is CJ alongside Jonathan and Christian. Before we get too deep into the analysis, into the reactions, into the grades, into all the good stuff, fellas, how are we doing today?
Exceptionally well, CJ. Christian, how we doing today?
I'm feeling good. Some would say I'm feeling like a Maserati. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I'm glad you guys are doing well because we got a lot to break down today, a lot of draft talk to talk about. So if you guys are new here, we're Hate to Pile On, the sports brand that gives you passion, enthusiasm from the chunky boys. Make sure you drop comments down in this comment section. Let us know your thoughts on your teams, how they did in the draft. What do you guys think about the Commanders, the Falcons, and the Panthers? Those are the three teams that we'll be breaking down today.
No. Don't comment about my Falcons. We get it. We got it. We done got enough heat these past 2 days. Leave us alone.
Now we're gonna talk about it. We're not gonna leave you alone whatsoever. So, but let's start off on the light. Actually, no, fuck it. Let's just dive straight into the Falcons. Let's go straight into the Atlanta Falcons and what the fuck were they doing? Just to be.
Can I just give? So, me being a Falcons fan,
yes.
I fully intended and fully thought me and the owners and the staff were like, I thought we were in tandem. Because once I heard we were not taking was Dallas Turner. And you know what? Fuck you, but in a joking way, Adam Schefter, because he was like, oh, the Falcons are not taking Dallas Turner here. They out from what I heard that they were going for a receiver. You should have seen me, bro. Roma Dunze. That's instantly. I was thinking, oh snap, they're about to go crazy with this. My man CJ calls me because I'm playing video games and watching the draft. My man calls me and he's like, I see some type of excitement on his face, and I'm like, bro, don't even say nothing because I don't even know. Just chill. I don't know what's going on. But remember, I told y'all I would love for him to be part of the Falcons organization. But at number 8, hell nah. Hell nah. You could have bagged back, got some more picks because all the terrible picks you got. Oh my God.
So what he's talking about is, if you guys haven't seen it, I don't know how you haven't if you were watching, but Michael Penix Jr. from Washington, quarterback, going number 8. Kind of a surprise pick here at number 8.
Kinda.
Oh, for sure. I mean, obviously, everyone had, Atlanta being the team to start the defensive run or to at least select the defensive player. Apparently, you guys are allergic to drafting like edge rushers or pass rushers.
We're not allergic. No, for years we did that.
Not in the last, 4. Where you guys
Big Beasley, probably the last person we drafted.
For all our female viewers out there, y'all probably know there's nothing you like less than an unexpected Penix pick, and that's what the Falcons are dealing
with. Wait. That was beautiful. That was fucking like, you think I'm being sarcastic, but that was beautiful.
It was beautiful. That joke was A1. Unlike the pick. But again, right, everyone is talking about whether or not, this was a good idea. People are trying to wrap their minds around why would the Falcons go quarterback at 8, right? And then obviously, kind of like the one central idea, or the thing that Raheem Morris tried to explain in the press conference was the Packers mantra, how they draft, right? They're trying to go from you get a young quarterback to sit behind your veteran quarterback and let him sit for 3 years. That seems to be the thing. But
not his
the huge caveat is that Michael Penix is already 24. So it's like, so you want him to sit until he's 27, 28? And that's why I think there's a lot of head scratching move. Like if you would have got JJ McCarthy here, I don't think
Would have been
anybody
more understandable.
Right, JJ's still 21. So like by the time he's 3 years, he'd be 24 at the time that how old Michael Penix is.
JJ might only be 20.
Oh, sheesh. That's
He's
that's
pretty
even
young.
better, right? So like you get a younger guy who still needs time to develop, but you guys didn't. And then even still, like obviously there was the draft rumors about people were trying to trade up to get Penix in the top 10. Whether how true it is or not, who knows? But so that was your first pick, right? So let's go to the second round, right?
Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I understand why the Falcons did this pick. Because I like obviously instantly I was probably probably like maybe a fraction, not even a small amount of Falcon fans. I was like, oh hell yeah. Like I'm cool, Michael Penix. I'm cool. Like,
I'm the only person.
I thought it's like I'm cool. Like it was it a great pick? No. But it's like in my mind, it's like, okay, like we got a guy that just came back from the national championship. You got a guy that just battled injuries and conflict and went to a different school in Washington in which no one in the world really, don't say no one, but not everyone took Washington seriously, brought their program up. And it's like, you know what? Like everywhere he goes, he brings eyes and attention, and I'm not going to necessarily say win, but he competes really well. Going to Indiana. We're not watching Indiana football. Let's just be real. The only team in Indiana we're watching, Notre Dame. It's about it. And then you have him at Indiana, killing it. Gets injured.
Which time?
Gets
Which
injured
time?
multiple times. He gets injured multiple times.
Exactly.
But switches it up, goes to Washington. He's like, you know what? I like, and you know what's probably crazy? Some teams probably didn't want him, especially in the Big Ten or the SEC. And he's like, you know, I got to go out here. Let me do my job. Let me work. And remember, we always had eyes on Washington, but Washington never could take that hump, get over that hump to get to the big time game, to win the big time game. Well, what now? What? Oh, you guys get over the hump. I got you. Anyways, gets over that hump with Washington. So it's just like, I'm cool with it. Not at the spot that we got him, but it's just like, you know what? The name's already fucking said. You can't go back. We got Michael fucking Penix now.
Yeah,
and then it's
true.
like,
I
my man,
mean,
we just don't know. We just don't know about Kirk Cousins either. And then it's like,
well,
we're going to be
the thing
good.
is-
We're going to be good this year. Next year, we're not going to have a top 10 pick. I'm just being real. If things go as they should go, we're not going to have a top 10 pick. So I understand why the Falcons went and got the guy. Why don't you just go ahead and get your guys you want and call Kirk Cousins for what? Kirk, you got our money. You got $100 million guarantee. What do we need to call you for? You need to be calling us. Like, hey, I screwed you.
According to Jay Gruden and Colt McCoy, he gets pretty sensitive sometimes. So, I mean, listen,
Two guys that know him pretty well.
Yeah, very well. If I get it, like you do, like in the league this past 2 years, we have seen so many starting quarterbacks play in terms of like so many starters getting injured, so many people. So it is tough. Yeah, like literally every team has dealt with this, and like there's only maybe a handful, if that, like who probably had like sustainability at that quarterback position. So it is tough. Like I get the idea of wanting to make sure that you have an elite backup to where you can kind of bridge the gap, right? But the biggest questions, well, if you did think Kirk Cousins was going to be healthy in time, why would you sign him to the big money contract, right?
That's true.
And if you could have traded back, well, and again, also you could have traded back in perfect world and still probably got him, maybe, who knows? But at the same time, you know, we'll talk about it a little bit later with the Commanders. Like you might not be able to find a suitor. You might not be able to find someone who's willing to give up the price that you want to trade back as well. So it's a lot of caveats that people don't really talk about. Kirk D. Cousins had a funky weekend. Yeah, he did. He might be a little pissed off, but like, hopefully,
Bro, get over it. Get over it.
mean,
You
that's
have
the thing,
$100 million in your pocket. Get over it. You got your money. Now you want to play too? I mean, what's going on? What are we doing?
Again, you bring in competition at his position to when you think everything is cool. Now he's like, okay, now I got this kid looking over my shoulder. Especially, you know, we all see the Supreme Dreams commercial, the video. He's like, oh man, wow, that's a great pass
For a backup.
that's a good pass for a backup. Man, man, this is what we needed. You know, because Michael Penix showed how athletic he was. Like, he's shown how fast he can run, you know?
And they know history repeats itself, and they see another black quarterback who's left-handed, who is our last great black quarterback that was left-handed. That's what they're trying to do.
Desmond Ritter.
I said black.
Hey, yo.
They ain't never gonna. But
it's okay.
Second pick.
I don't know if Ritter's left-handed, but he sure as hell don't look right-handed.
He sure don't look right at all at the position. All right, so day 2. A little smoke before the Commanders pick at 36. The Falcons trade up to get your guy from Clemson, Rook. Hoping he got a dog in him, because you traded up for a guy who's pretty raw as a defensive tackle for Newton right there, who was probably projected to be possibly the first or second defensive tackle in the first round. And you guys go for him. Jonathan, what do you know about
He's good. I don't know if he's better than Johnny Newton, but he's good. Like, I feel like he was a consensus top 5 defensive tackle on most people's boards. It was just the fact that he went before Johnny Newton is throwing some people off.
And they traded up. They traded up
to not take Johnny Newton. Yes. I feel like if Johnny Newton and Byron Murphy had both gone in the first round and Rook was the third defensive tackle taken at the same spot, people wouldn't have said as much if it hadn't been for the fact that they traded up for him and they took him over Johnny Newton. Right. I feel like those two factors are putting a negative spin on it for some people.
Yes. And I understand, because this did start a defensive tackle run to start the second round. Well, it was wide receiver, but then that defensive tackle run once they traded up, and then we kind of saw them go off the board. So obviously they kind of figured that way, especially they wanted to try to get ahead of the Rams, and they didn't know what the Commanders would do, and a lot of people didn't, but they did. So, Christian, what did you think of this pick? A defensive tackle.
You know,
so you guys go. You get the defender that you needed,
right,
in a second round.
I'm gonna shoot you guys straight. I think we've grown up watching the draft, and we love these players and stuff when they get drafted. But I think, like, I don't really care for it. Like, not in a bad way. It's like, I'm glad we got him, but it's also, who's to say this guy's not going to be that fucking guy? But who's also to say the guy that got picked up in the 7th round can't be that fucking guy too?
For sure.
And it's just like, I understand the raw talent that he may have, but maybe Raheem wants to turn that guy into a fucking monster.
Oh yeah,
a freaking beast. Because I think he coached who Malik Khalil Mack.
Raheem Morris. He was coaching Aaron Donald for the last few years. So
he was the Rams, not. I'm thinking, okay, coaching him. He's like, oh, you know what? We can probably turn this guy not into him, but we can see what I've learned over there and put. I mean, why not? Why on a prospect? Why not? But people, like, I get, like, the whole, like, the draft list thing, but it's like, dude, if that guy don't fit their system, he doesn't have to fucking pick him.
For sure.
You know, and then it's just like, oh, maybe this guy had a really great fucking interview and he said some great shit. I'm going to go pick this guy. And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, not talking about y'all, but, like, I was hearing some stuff and it was just like, a man has just changed his family's life. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you doubting him already? Like, bro, ain't even touched the field yet. Not you,
hey, man,
but
this is football, buddy. If you can't handle it, get out of the game. All right, so for the 3rd round pick, we got Braylon Trice. So this is a pick, I'm like, this is a guy. I like Braylon Trice a lot from Washington. I think this is a good pickup for you guys. A good pass rusher. I thought this would be one of the oozes that we would get. But you know, it is what it is. It happens. I like this pick though. You guys went back-to-back defensive players, much needed. I would say. Then day 3, you guys go another defensive tackle, Brandon Dorless from I think Oregon.
Yeah.
So
those Oregon guys are flying off the board second round.
Yeah, they got a lot of athletes, man. Dan Lanning and Mario Cristobal. Because I mean, some of these guys probably still under Mario Cristobal, who probably originally recruited, and Dan Lanning kind of kept some of them around. But they get athletes. Dan Lanning's going to be a guy these next couple of years. Hopefully, Oregon can continue to keep up. But now they're going to be playing in the Big Ten, so it should be a fun new world we'll get into later. And then linebackers, this draft really kind of got, I won't say devalued, but like, holy shit. I mean, I guess I expected a few more to go earlier than they did. It
wasn't a great linebacker class.
It wasn't a great linebacker class for sure. But I thought at least a couple of like the early guys would go a little earlier. But yeah. But you guys got JD Bertrand from Notre Dame, big body linebacker, 6'1", 233. And then in the 6th round, you guys went Jason McClellan from Alabama. I believe he played running back. And then then you guys go in the 6th round and get Casey Washington,
but
wide receiver.
Let me get y'all's opinion on that.
Yep.
So we go running back.
Yep.
But no one's upset that we drafted a running back. After we already got, I believe, 2 running backs on our list that could start other places as well. Well, especially one for sure. But Tyler Algier is a dog.
He is a dog.
So like no one's upset that they have 2 young running backs and they draft another.
Well, the thing is with running backs, there's kind of a philosophy that you should probably draft a running back once every year or every other year because of the fact that you should not pay running backs whatsoever. Oh. So if you keep them going on a new contract like every other year, it's like, hey, you can just kind of cycle them in and out.
Roger that.
And that's what's happening to Tyler Algier. Like Algier is probably gonna have to find a new team next year because of the fact that, like, I mean, he was such a dog his rookie year, and then Arthur Smith just again went a luxury pick. I mean, yes, like Bijan is nice and is really good, but it's like, damn, like you really didn't need that at 8. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is now. So, but yeah, I mean, this is round 6. So you would have running back in round 6. So and the running backs were not going like that.
Right.
I mean, Panthers started the running back run, but even still, they didn't really start a run. Like the run didn't really happen until like the 4th or 5th round.
Yeah, I got Jonathan. Yeah, John.
Yes, sir.
Now I can hear myself. Okay, Jonathan Brooks.
Yes.
And y'all got one of my guys too. And you know exactly who I'm talking about.
We'll get to that. In the round 6, pick 197, you guys go. You guys went heavy on the defensive front. Whether you didn't get it early on or like first round or whatever, but you guys did go crazy. Got my guy Zion Logue from Georgia, 6'6" D tackle, and that was your final pick. Obviously, a lot of questions after the draft with not getting a corner. And that's kind of what Terry Fontenot has been getting heated about. How do you feel about not getting a corner in this draft?
Maybe they have some guys in there they truly do believe in. Just because someone gets beat a few times doesn't mean you should just automatically just give up on that person. Because maybe they go in and maybe they thought they came in thinking they were hot shit, and then they watch how they got walked around the dog park a couple times. Lights a fire under their ass. You never know.
Yeah,
and then it's like, because it also just like with the quarterback thing and Kirk Cousins, I don't give a fuck. Like, you don't have to give that motherfucker a notice. But them not drafting a corner, maybe they're telling their guys, hey, we fucking believe in you. You need to turn some shit over. Get some fucking, go back to the bases, whatever it may be. That's what I think they're doing. And I mean, Raheem might like our secondary. And that's fine, Dandy.
Your secondary is pretty solid. I think you still need like another guy out over. I don't know, is Hayward still there? Who's on the side of AJ Terrell? Yeah, was he there on the other side? I know it's him, JC Bates, Jesse. I mean, a little bit older corner. Obviously, AJ Terrell. I mean, one way you can show that you love him is, pay him.
Hey, he's already paid in my book.
I don't know if he's gotten paid yet, but I don't think he's gotten paid.
I'm so glad his brother didn't come out.
So, I don't know. But overall, how do you feel about this draft? And are you excited about after? Does your excitement level raise a little bit after this draft?
Not really. I was really wanting Roma Dunze.
He was
really bad.
Too.
I'm telling you, I really wanted him really bad. Happy we got Michael Penix. But there's another team on this panel that I'm very proud of. And for the first time in history, I might actually watch a lot of their games.
Oh.
Because they drafted very well.
I wonder who that could be.
Yeah. But let's push the table. Watch the Commanders.
First of all, you don't run this panel, sir. Relax. Relax. Okay. This is what we're not going to do. We're going to Carolina, buddy. We're going from NFC South to NFC South team. And we're going to the Carolina Panthers, who did not, at the start of the draft, have a first round pick. But by the end of the night, and literally the end of the night, you guys made a move to jump up into the first to get your guy who's been saying they're going to pick me all season, Xavier Legette. Jonathan, how do you feel about the trade up? And then you guys made a few trades. A lot
of them.
Yeah, we made a ton of trades. I mean, CJ, we talked about it before the draft. Like, my one request was I don't want to trade up.
Yeah.
Because we don't have a lot of draft capital. Because we've already been trading. We traded a ton for Bryce Young, and we still don't have all of our picks back from that. So sitting there at 33, I was like, okay, we might even be able to trade back going into the second round, night 2, Friday night. Because there's going to be somebody sitting there on the board after the first round ends that several teams are like, oh, yeah, we want that guy. We want to go up and get him.
Yeah. 33 is a great spot to be at, especially because you got all day people thinking about who's still left on the board. We got to call Carolina.
So it would have been a lot of trade opportunities there. But we passed on those because we traded up. It gave away, I believe it was 2 5th-round picks. Let me double check that. And 33 for the 32nd pick. So we could take Xavier Legette. Let's see.
Yes. I think it was a swap. I think you guys gave up a 5th and you got a 6th back to move up one spot. I thought.
I'm pulling the trade up right now. Yes, so we sent 33 and 141 for 32 and 200. So we dropped 60 spots to move up one spot, which seems like a lot.
Yes. But you get your guy and you get him for 5 years.
Correct. But again, going back to the Michael Penix thing, Legette is a bit of an older prospect.
Yeah.
He's already 23. Let me double check because I want to say he's around the same age as Terrace Marshall Jr., who we drafted.
His birthday is in January. His birthday is January 29th, so he just turned 23 3 months ago.
What year?
2001.
Okay. So Terrace Marshall Jr., we drafted. This will be his 4th year. We drafted him 4 years ago now. He will turn. He's also 23. He turns 24 in June. So a guy we drafted 4 years earlier than him is only like 7 months younger than him, or older than him. Sorry.
Yeah.
So a bit of an older prospect, late breakout.
Which I think one thing I think to that point though, real quick, is I think you're going to see that until probably another year or two because of the COVID and like the NIL. I think that's kind of like something I think we're going to see more guys like just taking the money and just maxing out their eligibility until they have to, and then unless you're Caleb Williams, right? Like unless you're Caleb Williams, where it's like, or like a few guys who are like, okay, yeah, I'm just going, like I know for sure I'm a first rounder, bona fide.
Scrub.
Yeah, but I mean, he wasn't seen as probably even like a draftable prospect until this year.
Oh, for sure. He had a crazy on the map this year. Yeah, because everyone was looking at Juice Wells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Jaheim Bell when he was there as well. Marshawn Lloyd.
What a fall for Jaheim Bell. Like, I didn't expect him to go in the 7th round.
Oh, what a fall for A.D. Mitchell.
Yeah.
We'll get to those later. But so I like Xavier Legette. I don't love the pick. I don't love trading up, but I'm not necessarily mad at it. I know there was a lot of Panthers fans who wanted us to double dip and get another wide receiver later in the draft. But like I said, with on the pre-draft show with CJ, with Canales being a wide receiver-minded head coach, like he came up with the Seahawks coach of wide receivers. I think he's going to try to coach up the young wide receivers we drafted the last couple of years, because we drafted 2 wide receivers in the 2nd round, and Terrace Marshall Jr. and Jonathan Mingo. So I feel like instead of trying to just double dip and turn over that whole room in 1 year, he's going to try to coach up the guys we have now, see what we have, and if they can't cut it, then we'll go into next year and bring some more guys in. But as of right now, Terrace Marshall Jr. is in the last year of his contract. Adam Thielen's on the last year of his contract. Deontay Johnson, last year of his contract. So the only wide receivers we have under contract for 2025 are Mingo and Xavier Legette. So just because we didn't draft a wide receiver now doesn't mean we're done. Like, obviously, with only 2 wide receivers, we're going to make some moves next year, whether that's re-signing somebody or drafting somebody, going out and signing somebody. T. Higgins. We'll see. But I'm sure the Panthers will be adding to the wide receiver room again next year. But it is important to get 2 young guys that can grow with Bryce if we want to see what Bryce can be as a franchise quarterback. And we have that now in Mingo and Leggett.
Cool. And then in the 2nd round, you guys traded
back, and then traded up.
You got a couple trades, which is kind of wild. But I was kind of like laughing at this. Like, I feel like this is such like a thing, but like, I don't hate it. You get the best player at this position. Now hearing the news that he should be ready to go by July 1st. You guys draft Jonathan Brooks from Texas, a big back that you guys really needed, who can catch out the backfield and who could he's a bruiser, runs a bit high at times, which I'm not a fan of, but I mean, he's like 6'2" like Derrick Henry. I mean, he's close to it, but so how do you feel about the Jonathan Brooks trade after the rigmarole of the trading back and then trading back up for him?
Once we traded back, I was like, okay, we're cooking. We're doing what we need to do. Then we traded up, and I was like,
he gave me a lot up.
Why are we giving up assets again? Like, we gave up a 3rd and a 4th, I believe. Or was it 2 4ths?
Well, you got a 2nd back when you traded back. So you got a 2nd back from you next year. So you have a 2nd round pick back next year. And then you gave up
which was
a lot of your capital today.
Yes. Which getting the 2nd round pick for 2025 was important because we still don't have our own 2025 2nd round pick because of the Bryce Young trade. So we got, I believe it's Buffalo's 2nd round pick as part of that trade back from 39, which we got for Brian Burns. And then we traded up from that pick that we got to go get Jonathan Brooks. We gave up a lot. And then that's why we had to trade back from 65 because we had like no day 3 picks at that point. I believe we had 2 at that point. It was like 100 and 200, I believe, or 240. So then we traded back from 66, got some more picks back. And yeah, it was a whole thing. But Jonathan Brooks is a dog. I'm happy we got him. He's running back 1 in this draft class. I had a feeling we might draft him. I didn't think we would trade up for him. But the fact that we brought in him and Trey Benson for top 30 prospect visits let me know that we were much more interested in running back than people were expecting us to be.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of went under the radar. Like, we brought in the top 2 running backs in the class. Clearly, we're interested at looking at running backs, and it's not like later running backs. Like, no, we want the top guys. We're looking at them. Like we want them, and we got one. We got Jonathan Brooks. I'm happy. He should be healthy, ready to go for preseason. Training camp. Yep, July. Yeah. Training camp, preseason, all that. Should be 100% by week 1, which is great. The running back room as it stands right now is Miles Sanders, who
apparently like they're still really. I heard a report that, or I think Dan Morgan said in the press conference that they're still really high on Miles Sanders.
You have to say that.
Well, you do have to say that, but
we gave him $26 million. He sucks. We would cut him, but we can't afford to. You can't say that.
I mean, you can, but it also wasn't his. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't one of your guys, right? Like, Dan, like this is his team now. Like, he like one of the sly things that Adam Peters said when he took over. He's like, yeah, like there's some pieces here that I could work with for sure. Like, no one is like, no, like this. I got to tear down this whole fucking roster. And whether, like, I mean, that was not his deal to get Miles Sanders, or maybe it was. Maybe he brought it up and they kind of passed it on. Like, he wants in the new scheme to really feed Miles Sanders, hopefully a fucking receiving touchdown. But anyways,
it's too late.
Way too late for it. Still mad about
just
that.
Needed one
receiving touchdown to win money. Crazy.
He had 17 games to do it.
Yeah. Okay. To your 3rd round pick, where a guy in his highlight video, his hype video, the first play he makes in the backfield, he breaks a guy's leg. Talk about Dan Morgan wants that dog mentality. Trevin Wallace, inside linebacker from Kentucky, is that. I think this is definitely a Dan Morgan pick. Like, this is like he put his stamp on this draft with this pick here. How do you feel about Trevin Wallace?
We definitely needed some linebacker help. Like I said, this linebacker class wasn't great. There was only a couple linebackers I really liked. Peyton Wilson from NC State, obviously. Stud Edgerrin Cooper, who went to the Packers. Trevin Wallace was like probably in my top 5, I believe. Yeah, I think he was in my top 5 linebackers in this class. But really, like, for this draft at linebacker, just look for athletes. Like, because it wasn't a great class. So just find somebody who's athletic and you can kind of mold into what you want your linebacker to be. And with Dan Morgan as GM, guy who knows a little bit about linebacker play, I'm sure that they have a plan for Trevin Wallace. He is a really good athlete. He's also an early declare, one of the youngest players in the draft, I believe. He just turned 21. So him and Brooks. Brooks actually doesn't turn 21 until like.
Yeah, he turned 21 February 22nd.
Yeah, he just turned 21. Brooks doesn't turn 21 until like preseason, I want to say.
Yeah, July 21st. So he's still 20.
Yeah. So he should be able to celebrate being cleared about 3 weeks late. He can go out and drink, but until July 21st, he legally cannot drink. He's that young.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like that even though we went with Leggett, who's a bit older in the first round, for the next couple picks, we went more youth upside. I'm a big fan of that.
And your 4th round pick, another young tight end, big body, kind of fell a bit further. Jatavion Sanders from Texas. With 2 players from Texas here. He just turned 21 a month ago. On the 27th. So another young prospect that you can help mold and grow, which I think Jatavion Sanders with this, obviously he didn't test that great, but I think his big body nature and just the way he can catch and has like willingness to block, I think is really good for you guys. And he was one of the guys we talked about. You talked about as well to bring in, because like your tight end room desperately needed help. I don't care what Dan Morgan said, like I needed a tight end, like a new fresh face.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying with Dan Morgan. Like, just because he says something at a press conference, like, actions speak louder than words. You can say, oh, yeah, we love our running back room. We love Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard. We see them both as lead backs. But then you go and trade up to take the top running back in the draft. So what do you really think about the running backs you have?
Well, we hold you to your word. Your word is your word, your bond. So we gotta hold you to it. So if you, because I mean, there's people, there's like GMs like like John Lynch are like very truthful about it, or you just didn't have to say anything about it. So we'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like we'll look into it. We're evaluating the position. You know what I mean? Like, go as far as saying like, oh, we really like these guys. I don't. I just think you just need to just don't say anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it might have been a little bit of
a little draft deception.
Yeah, a little draft deception. Because like I said, like we brought in Brooks and Benson for top 30 visits. And like nobody really talked about it. I felt like it flew under the radar, probably because of the way Chuba Hubbard ended the season last year, ended strong. And the fact that we've been saying, oh yeah, we like our running back stable, like we like the guys we have. We view them both as lead backs, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but then we got Jonathan Brooks. So how did you really feel? Because we didn't just draft Jonathan Brooks, we traded up to get him.
Yeah.
So clearly we had a plan for him.
Right.
You don't trade up for somebody, especially a running back, and not plan to use them. Like there's a plan in place for him. So I'm excited to see that because he is a stud. But Ja'Tavion Sanders, yes, he did fall a bit, mostly due to his athletic testing. But I think he plays faster than that.
Yeah.
I feel like he moves much better than the way he tested, and hopefully we can get some production out of the tight end position that we haven't had since Greg Olsen. Besides like the 3 games of what's his name? Oh, there's a tight end we had for like 3 games before we traded him to the Jags for CJ Henderson.
Oh, you talking about Dan Arnold?
Yeah, Dan Arnold.
The GOAT Dan Arnold. That's when everything went downhill when y'all traded Dan Arnold for fucking Henderson.
CJ Henderson. It was Dan Arnold and a 3rd round pick, I believe, for CJ Henderson.
It's crazy.
And that was the last time we had a tight end who could do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we drafted a tight end, but Dan Morgan was saying we love our tight end group. We love Ian Thomas. We love Tommy Tremble. Do we though? Because we just took another one. So, Dan Morgan wasn't the GM last year, but we brought in Hayden Hurst last year as well. And he was part of the front office that did that. So, like, we love Ian Thomas, we love Tommy Tremble. Why did we try to replace them with Hayden Hurst last year? Why are we drafting a guy now this year? Like, This is what I'm saying with the Panthers. Like, your actions and your words aren't lining up. Like,
right.
For sure.
Be honest with yourselves. Be honest with the team. Be honest with your actions.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I think he can help us
out. Your next pick, which was he was talking about they're going to go heavy. We need to address the cornerback position. Shao Smith-Wade from Washington State, a really good corner, which I thought he would go a little bit earlier, maybe 3rd round, possibly early 4th, but got him at 157 in the 5th. 5'10", plays not the fastest 4.54, but he's a willing tackler and can play some do support in the running game as well. How do you feel about addressing this need right here?
I like that we drafted a corner. To be honest, I didn't watch his film. I didn't watch a lot of film on corners this year. I was out on corners who weren't athletic or big, and he is neither. So I was like, he's off my draft board. But he wasn't off the Panthers draft board because they took him. So I need to do a little bit more work on him. But we definitely did need more bodies at corner. I know there's been a lot of rumors about us potentially signing Stephon Gilmore. I don't think a 5th-round draft pick is going to change those plans. There's still a good chance we sign Stephon Gilmore, especially with his former college teammate, Jadeveon Clowney, campaigning for him to come sign with his hometown team. I would like to see that personally. Especially since we gave away like a 3rd-round pick for 7 games of him in 2021, because Matt Rule and Scott Fitterer are dummies.
How do you feel about not getting? You got Xavier Legette in the 1st round, but there was also some corners that fell that were pretty highly, rated. Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cooper DeJean. Those guys, like, how do you feel about not picking those 2 up at that pick?
Oh, I like them both. I feel like we definitely could use another corner opposite JC Horn, but also, like I said, if Stephon Gilmore is coming, like it makes it more tolerable. But that was my whole thing with the Panthers is we stink and we've been trading away our picks, so we don't even have enough picks to fill all our needs. Like we have way too many holes. We're not ready to compete. That's why I don't like the fact that we were trading up. Like we weren't in a position to do that. So while yes, we do need another corner, and it would have been nice to have guys like that, I'm not mad at us getting a wide receiver because we also needed a wide receiver. We also needed an edge rusher, which we didn't really address. I think we took one in like the 6th round.
It depends. You got a defensive tackle, Jaden Crumdy from Mississippi State, a 6'4" defensive tackle, could play inside and out. A solid depth piece there once you get to the 6th round. Which would be interesting. And you guys get linebacker from Michigan, Michael Barrett, 5'11", 233. Probably gonna be a special teams guy to start. Besides linebacker, but who knows? So you guys double dipped in the linebacker, got another defensive tackle, the spine. But here's a glaring need that you also didn't go edge, right? Well, here's something everyone was talking about, them possibly getting at either 39 or maybe 60, or when you guys had those picks. A center. So, I mean, are we all in on Bozeman?
No, Bozeman's gone.
Not Bozeman. Who's the guy? Who's the guy who's moving in?
Austin Corbett is moving from right guard to center. And yes, it sounds like the front office is all in on Corbett, which I feel like isn't the best idea with him coming off a season and back-to-back season-ending injuries. I like him. He's really good at guard when he's played for us. But I would have liked to get a center, especially with Zach Frazier sitting there for a while.
Yes, a while. I mean,
he's a stud.
I think you trade back and then Raiders get Powers Johnson, which was a good move. I like the Raiders has some pretty good solid picks. But yeah, like I was really surprised by that. Even if he unless there's a guy they have free agency wise they might be interested in, but like they're really just going with the guys that are already in this room. What did Ron Rivera's favorite phrase is? We have everything we need in this room. I'm like, I don't think we do. We don't. I don't think we do. So yeah, that's rough. And an edge rusher as well. Like, I mean, obviously you got Jadeveon Clowney in free agency, unless you guys are going to kind of go some like 1-year deal guys, a little bit older who just wants a chance to make a bigger contract or just go contract to contract, make some money. You got that opportunity because I mean, there's always those guys right at training camp you can sign. But with the Panthers being the roster they have, like I don't know, they're not let me sign a 1-year deal and compete type thing. It's going to have to be like a hometown guy like Jadeveon Clowney, and hopefully he's interested in the project to get a couple bucks. Maybe we'll pay you a little bit extra that we can, but that's interesting as well. You guys didn't go immediate rush edge, even though I mean edge market is not super deep as well this draft. Like it wasn't deep in a lot of positions that wasn't offensive tackle or wide receiver.
Yeah. And like I said, we didn't have enough picks to address every need. Like,
yeah,
we only had, I want to say 7 picks going into the draft, and only 3 of them were top 101 picks. But 4, I lied. 33, 39, 66, and 101. So not a lot of premium draft capital and a ton of holes to fill.
Yeah.
Not where you want to be.
What's up, Eddie? What are you brun about? Yeah, I get you. It's a lot. I mean, Commanders the same way. Like I think we had a lot of holes that we needed to fill, and I think we did pretty solidly. And we'll talk about that shortly. But Jonathan, give me your reaction. Are you more excited about the team now post draft, or how's your feelings about your team?
I think Michael Scott said it best. I am ready to get hurt again. That's how I feel about this Panthers team. I mean, I'm excited for pieces. Like, I really want to see what this offense can do with Canales in a town, what Bryce can do in his second year with a real coaching staff that's not fighting each other over who's in charge.
Yeah.
With some hopefully competent wide receiver play around him with an improved offensive line. If everybody's healthy, I would have really liked to have signed Mekhi Becton, who just signed with the Eagles today as a swing tackle, or possibly somebody who could push Icky at left tackle. But it should definitely be better than it was last year.
Yeah.
Which isn't saying much, but small improvements are still improvements.
I like that. So let's move on to the Washington Commanders here. So obviously with the second overall pick, you know, I will admit it. I wanted Drake May. I've been saying that from like the last few months. Like, he's the guy I wanted. But I'm not mad at Jaden Daniels as our quarterback. I'm excited for him because I know he's going to be electric. I know that the way we're going to use him out in space and have him, just utilize all of his talents with Cliff. And, I'm really excited. So, Jaden's the guy. He's the pick at 2, and I'm really happy about it. I think he's going to bring something unique, and I think he fits the mentality that Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are trying to bring to Washington. And like I love the quote of he's going to snatch the soul from the defenders, and I love that. And he's like, he asked him in the press conference, like, can you show me a game, or can you tell us a game that, like, you had an example of that? He's like, the Florida game. And he sure did snatch the soul from that defense. I think he rushed for like over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and threw for 300, threw for 3. Like, insane game. Absolutely insane game. I think it's very good. I think that game kind of pretty much solidified him, or to really put him back up there in the Heisman race, which he ultimately won. So
some might say that was his Heisman moment.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure.
I got 2 questions for you, CJ.
What's up?
So, why did you want to take Drake May?
So, one is obviously kind of the draft age. Drake May's 21. Jaden Daniels 23. Obviously, Jaden Daniels is a little bit more polished. He's a little bit more, quote unquote, pro ready. Obviously, played more college football, 5 years. But Drake May has more. I mean, they got the same body type, but I just like his obviously young athletic potential, his arm talent, his ability to make spectacular plays as well with his feet. I just think he's just. I mean, obviously he's a little bit more raw, and so I think there's a little bit higher upside. And but I think that they're both comp pretty similar. Obviously, Jaden just has that way more like A++ athletic ability versus versus Drake has like probably a solid like B, athletic ability,
Right.
So
second question. Jaden Daniels, I guess we're assuming that he's going to start this year. We're assuming that, correct?
I mean, if I'll be very comfortable starting with Marcus Mariota.
Okay. Let's just say some way, shape, or form. He gets the starting job. Yes. How many wins does he have to get for your respect? To be like, you know what? Glad we fucking picked this guy.
1. I mean, like, I don't think I just know that it's like it's going to be tough. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a transition. Like, I want to see. I mean, probably not 1, but like, it's not even like wins. Like, I just want to see him be able to like put things together and like see that there's like moments of like, oh yeah, I like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't want to give him like that. Like, oh, he has to be like, we win 7, 8 games this year, which we'll probably do just because we're going to have more talent. But it's like, I don't want to put that much pressure on him year 1, right? Like, everyone's kind of, obviously people kind of give him the tag of RG4, right? Because he's kind of like, he reminds us of 3. so much because his body type and how electric he be. So like he gives me what RG3 gave me in his rookie of the year playoff win or playoff game. Like I will love that. I'll be ecstatic for it, but I don't want to put that pressure on year one. Like I want to see him like develop and to see him get the concept. And I know he will. Like the amount of hours that he puts in to get better every year, which we saw in college. I just want to see what his floor is. Which if his floor is 5 to 7 wins, we can build from there because I just know this team still needs a lot more talent, and we'll talk about that.
Do you think you guys? You know what? I'll let you continue because maybe you'll answer my question.
So going into the second round, pick 36, we have the good old Falcons trade up right ahead of us to get their guy. And so then Johnny Newton right there. And we took him. My first reaction is, what the fuck? Flashbacks to Fedarian Mathis getting drafted in the second round. I still got the Ron Rivera, PTSD on me. But I mean, obviously, this is definitely one of those best player available guys to where it's like, absolute great pass rush ability as a defensive tackle. I mean, people kind of give him like the Aaron Donald, obviously, because he's an undersized defensive tackle type, prototype. But dude's freak athlete, not freak athlete, but he's pretty athletic for his size. And I like his pass rush ability. Gets to pair up with his boy Quan back at Illinois' defense, which was really good, electric. I think this just kind of makes our defensive front even more crazy because you see what the theme for a lot of these guys that we drafted have a lot of flex and a lot of hybrid abilities. And so, like, obviously with John Allen getting to be close to 30, he already got paid. So, like, this is a good chance he's going to push him out of the door within a year or so. So it's nothing, especially getting in high-end talent to start compete day one, because I think he could be a day one starter easily. Like Mathis is probably out the door, to be honest with you. But I mean, we'll see. I still don't know what kind of defense we're running at all. So I have no idea. Then we made some moves, made a trade. I think we traded back. And then, we traded back to gain a second-round pick. But we traded with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they got Cooper DeJean. So a lot of people were questioning that move. And I was just like, I don't know about trading with the Eagles, but the fact that we got a third, so we flipped having 2 seconds and 3/3 to having 3 seconds and 2/3. So it was, I don't hate the value. You did give them a pretty top talent there at that position, but, it is what it is now, and we got our guy Mike Starini. I forget how to say his fucking name. Mike from Michigan, a little undersized corner, which I was okay. I was like, whoa! Obviously, in my heart, I wanted Cam Hart. I wanted a big corner, but we got a hard hitting, playmaking nickel corner who fits. Like watching his his tape is like, okay, I get it, and I'm seeing the theme. I'm seeing the nastiness, his talent. Big players make big plays in big games. And he's shown that. He had an interception, took that thing pretty far, almost scored in the national championship game. I like his tenacity. He seems super hyped, ready to go. He wanted to play here, which is awesome to hear. He wanted to play with Dan Quinn, and I think he's going to be kind of our guy who makes a lot of interceptions. I think he had 6 interceptions at Michigan last year. So, like, playmaking corner, plays in the nickel. I'm excited. For him. I wanted a big corner. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I wanted, but it's fine. But pick 53, man. I didn't expect him to go so early, but I'm so happy that we got him. This is probably the only pick that I would have mocked myself. I've probably mocked Ben Sinnott from Kansas State to the Commanders so many times. I think he has the George Kittle archetype to where I think he can block. He can put him in the backfield to do like a H-back, fullback type vibe. And I think he's going to be a playmaker for us. And him to kind of help him and Zach Ertz together would be great because I see what Zach Ertz helped develop Trey McBride in Arizona. And Trey McBride has some pretty good upside there. So I'm really excited for Ben Sinnott, second round pick, our third second round pick. So the really good players we got in the first and second rounds. Third round pick, our first third round pick, Brandon Coleman, who they said guard, right? And Brandon Coleman, I do not know his size because I keep seeing different sizes no matter where. On his RAS chart, they list him at 6'4", but then I saw somewhere they got him listed at 6'6". So I have no idea how tall this motherfucker is. He's played left tackle and left guard at TCU. Big physical guy, heavy hands, plays violent. I like it. I don't love it, right? We needed to address a guy who can play left tackle. I still need to know how tall he is. If he's 6'6", I feel a little bit better at playing. He has big enough arms. He has 35-inch arms, so he has the arm length to play left tackle. But it wasn't one of the top guys, I would say, that I would like for us to get. Like, we literally got, I want to say it was right after Ben Sinnott pick, I want to say, that Patrick Paul went off the board. Like, one of the guys I wanted. Wasn't able to trade back up to get Tyler Guyton. Instead, Tyler Guyton, one of my favorite offensive tackles, outside of Marius Mims, to get drafted by the fucking Cowboys, man. The Cowboys. Sickening. Obviously, there was an insane run on tackles. Like, an insane run on offensive tackles into the first and in the second. So it's kind of like they didn't want to overpay to get a guy to be desperate for it. And they got a guy who I'm excited for. I mean, freakish athletic ability for his size. Like, I mean, really high RAS scores. So it's like, okay, he should be able to handle to play left tackle if he needed to, but it wasn't a definitive he's a left tackle, and that's the only thing I'm not a fan of, the question of that. So, but he does have also, like, position flexibility, and now people are looking at, okay, who could we also sign, like kind of what Jonathan was talking about is like a swing tackle, who could we also pick up in the post-draft free agency. Pick 100. We went Luke McCaffrey, dipping into the McCaffrey pool. I love it. I thought McCaffrey really shined in the Senior Bowl. I think he shows, and he's only been playing receiver for 2 years, but he has that natural athletic ability where he's consistently getting better. And I think we did it a wide receiver 3, 6'2", so a little bit bigger than what we have, which is good. One a little bit bigger, but that's what she said. But I'm excited for what he can do. I think he'll be. I think people comp him to like Zay Jones, which I think Zay Jones is a really good wide receiver 3. Can make some plays for you. Hopefully, he can be a little bit more consistent. I think he can be. I think he can be a freak. To be honest, I think he could be like a really good steal. Like Ben Sinnott and Luke McCaffrey could be like 2 really good steals for playmakers for Jaden Daniels.
Before we move on from him, yes. How do you feel about Luke McCaffrey, knowing that these were the next 3 picks at wide receiver right after? Okay. Troy Franklin went 2 picks later. Javon Baker went 11 picks later.
Yeah.
And Tez Walker went 13 picks later.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, Tez Walker's not as big as I wanted to be, pause. And so, like, I'm okay with that. And so Javon Baker's the one I really thought we would get. Like, Javon Baker was kind of the guy that I really wanted. There's a lot of receivers I like. Troy Franklin kept falling. And I think there's just, the rumors, obviously Twitter rumors, not sure if it's true or not, is that, people failed his interviews. People really questioned his love of football, whether he really wanted to be there. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just stuff I saw on Twitter, X. So yeah, I think Troy Franklin is like high-end second-round guy. Like, so to be able to get him there at third, I would have been okay with. The fact that he went to day 3 was kind of wild. He about to be playing with this boy Bo, so hopefully that could be good for him. I'm okay with it because I just think Luke still has a lot of untapped potential. Obviously, Javon Baker's the one I wanted, but I think Javon Baker did wind up in a good spot for him because he could probably be he was probably wide receiver 1 day 1. Let's be like week 1, he's probably going to be wide receiver 1.
It's him and Demario Douglas.
Yeah. So they also drafted another guy. I want to say I forget they drafted 2 receivers. I can't remember the other guy they drafted. Cornelius, maybe? No, he went to the Chargers. Who did they get? Did they get Brendan? No, Brendan Rice went to the Chargers as well. Huh. I can't remember. But I'm not that mad. I'm not really mad at all. I like Luke McCaffrey. I think he would have been one of those guys I would find with because I think he has so much athletic ability and like his hands in traffic is like very impressive. And something like and he just kept flashing. And the fact that he's only been doing this for 2 years just gives me the optimism that he's only getting better from here. So he's still very raw. And I think that's what gives me more excitement because I don't think we need him to be the guy right now with who we have in front of him. And so that gives him a little bit of a leeway to continue to grow in the position.
Fair.
I do like to see if he's going to be a punt return, kick return guy. And that's something I was looking for, a guy who you might be getting that has that ability. I was hoping for Isaac from Louisville is to, get, but, obviously – I mean, he has the most freakish athletic, big body running back in the draft that he went. I want to say he went to the. I forget where he get drafted to, but he went to a place that's not Commanders. So, not
Jalen Polk was the other wide receiver the Patriots drafted.
Yes, Jalen Polk. It's pretty good.
I felt like they reached on him. I like Javon Baker better than Jalen Polk.
Yeah, but they got both.
They did.
So. But yeah, I'm not. And I think Luke has really good upside, and I think he fits. Like again, it's like if you think Javon Baker doesn't fit the culture that you want, that's fine. Like what I mean, you have to establish like year one, you have to establish who your guys are, who are commanders, and that's what we're doing. I think he fits that mold. This next pick, our 5th round pick. It was kind of waiting a long fucking time for the 4th round to be finished with. They had to miss the whole 6th round. But we went linebacker Jordan Maggie from Temple. This guy I freaking like a lot. Really good, like high athletic linebacker, hit and run, plays. Everyone keeps saying plays with his hair on fire. I really like him, and I think I'm thinking Charles Davis said it on NFL Network that he's going to find a way to be starting for us in the next 2 years, and the fact that he gets to sit and develop behind Bobby Wagner for a year, I'm really excited for him because I think he has a lot of raw ability, and I think Adam Peters going to find another gem of a linebacker in the 5th round. If you know, you know. And also our second 5th round pick, we went Dominique Hampton from Washington, a freaking hybrid freak, 6'2", who can play some hard like nickel linebacker and like a safety, 6'2", runs really well. I'm excited for him. Oh my gosh, like these guys, man, like I'm seeing what a commander should be, what a commander looks like. Damn it, Adam Peters is putting on a masterclass. These are not guys that I would have known. Like, obviously, like he has a deeper scouting bag, respect to Adam Peters. But damn, I like watching tape with these guys the last couple of days. Like, I'm really loving it. And then our 7th round pick, we got an edge. Javonte Jean Baptiste from Notre Dame. Big guy. I think he's about 6'4", if I'm not mistaken. But pretty tested really well. The lowest guy to test in our RAS is Mike from Michigan. And he had like an 8 still. Is it what?
I believe it's Sandra still.
Yes, Sanders still. Yes, there you go. And he tested at 8.75. He was our lowest RAS test score in our whole draft.
That's pretty
Nines
high.
are better. And we're getting the high athletic makeup tests for our team, which you need athletes. You got to start with just better athletes to be a fast physical football team. And I think we're going to be must-see TV. And I'm really excited for this. Like I was excited because we had so many picks. Ended up with 9 draft picks, 3 to 2nd, 2 to 3rd, 2 to 5th, and 1 7th round pick. Got a lot of good value in the top 100. Addressed a lot of needs. but also got a lot of best player available. Got a lot of really good players. And my excitement level did rise after this draft, to be quite honest with you. Obviously, with having a new quarterback, you're excited to see what he does and how well he can come, how fast he can come out the gate this season.
I was
you
close
over there,
man.
Christian?
Yeah, I was close, man. I was watching his wordplay, man. I was watching his wordplay. He passed the test.
But yeah, I'm excited though. I'm really excited for this draft. My draft grade might be a little bit lower than, I might change my draft grade. I think originally I was going to give it a B+ because of the fact that I think Brendan Coleman could be a guy. I could just be looking like, you could go back and be like, oh yeah, you're a fucking idiot. But I think this would have been an A+ draft if I'm gonna go A-. I'm gonna go A-. I'll be fair. I think I'm gonna give it a little bit more. I'm gonna give it an A- draft grade. I just wish that we would have gotten like one of the top tackles, And I wanted Tyler Guyton, Patrick Paul. Like, it was a lot of guys that I would have took. It'd have been okay. But like we filled a lot of holes, tight end, corner, added another interior defender, edge, some hybrid safety, linebackers. We kind of got like 2 linebackers in a way. So we got some guys I saw a theme, and like I didn't feel like we reached too crazy for none of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And they got people that I think they have a plan for, and that's what I love to freaking hear. They say, "Hey, we're going to play you like this," and I am so freaking excited to see this defense because some of the guys that we're acquiring, man, I just think this defense is going to be flying around, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Will we win a lot of games? TBD. Who freaking knows? But I think if anything, like our offense is going to be exciting, and our defense is going to fly around. So I'm excited. Christian, what would you give your team's draft grade?
D-.
Oh shit. Okay. Nice.
I mean, just because for a long time, and ladies and gentlemen, I am not the football guy. So I don't care what y'all are gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, I am not the football guy. But I just feel like as a Falcons fan, we have gone defense so much. I think that for a few years, I just stopped watching the draft because I knew what we were going to go for. And then until like the Kyle Pitts pick, and it's like, I'm just tired of you just always going defense. Like, go get some offense. Like, first of all, you drafted Kyle Pitts at number 8, and it's or 5. He wears number 8. My bad. You draft him at number 5, and it makes him like
Drake London at number 8, and he wears
Bijan Robinson
number 5. So they got those 2 flipped.
Yeah,
but it's like you went and got him. That's a different draft. Oh God, could have got Lamar Jackson. Dude, that's 2 different drafts. But you went. Yes, Kyle Pitts and Lamar Jackson are 2 different drafts.
You could have tried to sign Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Or at least not come out and say we have no interest in signing Lamar Jackson. Like, we're good. We got Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, almost got Deshaun
Watson. And then like the year I get excited, we're about to draft a quarterback. We draft Desmond Ridder. And it's like, damn, when we get the offensive opportunity, besides Kyle Pitts and Bijan, you don't know what to do. And Drake London. You don't know what to do.
Yeah, that's Arthur Smith.
I'm tired of defense. I'm tired. I want to see excitement again. I want to see what made me be a Falcons fan with Michael Vick out there. Yes, I know this is a different thing. There's no Michael Vicks out there, but that's the excitement.
Matt Ryan. I mean, your offense was pretty excited with Matt Ryan.
But I'm saying like me, like I'm saying like me, like what made me become a fan was I saw Michael Vick.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. But Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, and we had Roddy White.
Woo! Hey, put some respect on Roddy
and Michael
White's
Turner. Man,
Michael Turner, Darren Sproles,
and Steven Jackson probably back in them days.
Yeah, that's true.
For a year. But it's like, bro, like that's the excitement we need. And you thought we had one when we had Calvin Ridley, but then you didn't want to re-sign him because of one bet.
Well,
what are we doing?
He's off for a whole year because of that one bet.
I know, but I'm saying like they didn't want to re-sign him because of that one bet. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
He got traded.
Yeah, he got traded, and I mean, you almost got a second from the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it was like, no, we're not going to sign him. I mean, they could have just waited another day, but then he got the bag from Tennessee, who we can talk about this another time, but Tennessee low-key kind of building something.
Yeah, but we know who they are, though. They're not going to throw the ball a lot.
This is a different team now. This is not Mike Vrabel's team. This is the Bill Callahan team. Brian Callahan is the head coach. His dad, Bill. I mean, they're going to run the rock for sure. But I think they're going to be a little bit more sizzle. I mean, now they got Nuke. They got Calvin Ridley.
Treylon Burks. Chigo Okonkwo at tight end.
Yeah. Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard at running back. They low-key building something.
So the Falcons.
And then he got Janarius Sneed at corner.
When Adam Schefter said that they were interested in taking a wide receiver, I think they wanted Neighbors, the Falcons.
Yeah,
sure doesn't moving. But how terrible are we though? Like, how terrible is our rep people or whatever you may call it? Makes sense in a minute. Like, you can't get a trade to move up to get Malik Neighbors, and you can't get a trade to get Justin Fields. You can't get a trade for I cannot remember his name, but it's like, damn, dude, are we that bad at negotiating? Are we that terrible? Golly.
Well, it's not even like that. I mean, obviously, you probably could have got it. I mean, there's like, with the Justin Fields thing, I think they probably just didn't want him.
I think they were being stingy with his ass.
I legitimately think they did not want Justin Fields whatsoever. Because I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you had the choice between, I mean, he probably been like option 3 or 4. But like, if you had a chance to get Kirk Cousins or Justin Fields, I mean, I'm probably taking Kirk Cousins. Just for the fact that if you think your team is close to being winning, I would take the more sure bet. If you're not that close, you think you're not that close, then yeah, I would probably go fire out there for Justin Fields and then draft Michael Penix, and then I was like, okay, here we go. But again, it just takes 2 to tango, man. And it's like you saw that a lot earlier. We didn't see as many trades as we thought we were going to see because a lot of people are like, I'm not giving up this, like, because you have to give me something. You have to blow me away if you think I'm gonna unpack like the Vikings tried to, but the Vikings almost blew the Patriots away so much. It was like, okay, we know we got a guy. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those fine balances. Like, damn, they're willing to give up 3 firsts for him. So that means he's really good. And we need a quarterback too. If they didn't need a quarterback, yeah, I think you had a better negotiation tactic. But it's like the fact that they knew they needed to, because like they knew they also needed a quarterback, but like the 3 first rounds, I mean, I don't know. That's tough. And then results 6 go in the first 12. So it's like if they would have, I mean, they would have been JJ, unless they like JJ McCarthy, which I don't think they did. I think their board might have been Drake May, Penix, and then
I think they did like McCarthy. They just didn't think if they traded back with the Vikings, they'd be able to get him.
I mean, you could have. I mean, you could have just took half of the capital back. You know what I mean? Like you'd have acquired a first, but that's the thing. Like next year.
It's one thing to trade back and give up Drake May. It's another thing to trade back, not draft Drake May, and then give up some of the draft capital you got for not drafting Drake May to move up to get JJ.
Yeah.
So it's like the difference in, because it probably would have cost you 2 firsts to move back up into like the top 8 for him.
Well, I mean, you probably didn't have to though. I mean, if if it fell like the way it did, I mean, you might have only had to move up a spot. Like the
but you don't know
mean,
that. Like you just know.
I mean, true for sure.
Because they might have had to move up to like 5 or 6 with the Giants if they thought the Giants were going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, because
So
I still think you could have. I think you could have still like. I would have took the picks and stayed pat because I know you got Jacoby Brissett. Like Jacoby Brissett is a solid journeyman quarterback for a year. Like obviously, it's not sexy to start your like coaching career off with not like a young quarterback year one. But like I mean, with this just how much there's no talent on this fucking roster. The Patriots, like I would have took the picks, but it's hard for me to like take the picks to build your team up versus getting your franchise quarterback. And we see teams do it differently. Like we seen the Bills do it. Like they just waited a couple years in. They rolled with Tyrod Taylor until Sean McDermott
put some respect on his name too. Tyrod Taylor.
Ty God, that's his name. And so like I mean, it just depends like if that's really what you wanted to do. Because if you like, we have to build this team as much as possible, which they did pretty good job in this draft for the most part, getting more talent. But I just think 2 seconds next year plus 2 this year, like you would have 2 firsts and two firsts for the next 2 years, this year and next year. I mean, that's tough not to do.
What would you have done if they had drafted Marvin Harrison? Like, what would have been your thoughts on that?
Who?
The Patriots. Because there were speculations that they weren't going to do that. They were going to go take. They might have taken Maserati Marv.
I mean, that would have been great because I mean they had nobody else. Like, yeah, I mean, like they had nobody else, so it made sense. You get the best player in the entire draft, and then I mean, you still have a quarterback. Like Jacoby is no slouch. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just like, okay, you could have took him at 3, but then it's like, all right, you guys, what are we doing for the future? Like Jacoby's not it. So then you'll have those questions, and it will kind of taint the beginning of Gerard Mayo's head coaching tenure for the New England Patriots. You know they're going to be on his ass way quicker than they were on Bill Belichick. Let's just keep it a buck,
that's probably why they didn't draft the what type of quarterback. Because you got me this quarterback and this coach. Oh, one of them got to go definitely.
I wanted it though. I wanted it so bad. Though. Jaden Daniels and Gerard Mayo would have been crazy in New England.
But
Boston fans wouldn't know how to act.
They would not. I mean, they don't know how to act when Gerard Mayo got the job.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
I know one team. My second favorite team in the NFL. They got some dogs on the team. Kyler Murray, Maserati Marv.
I'm not even gonna lie. People were mad as shit though.
Trey
they didn't get another
McBride?
receiver.
Facts.
Because they got another tight end. They got Tip. They got the Tip, and they got the Maserati. But I love their draft though. Logan.
And they got Benson from Florida State, running back.
Yeah, they got some guys. Like they got a lot of talent.
And McBride. Ooh, wee.
Like, I think they're gonna be okay. People like they needed to get a wide receiver too. It's like, I mean, Michael Wilson is solid. Like he could be a wide receiver too for right now.
We had another guy that was going crazy for us, or was that him? Or going for crazy for them last year? Some light skinned dude.
Rondell Moore, Greg Dortch,
no,
Hollywood Brown, all gone.
No, wasn't him. I'll find out who it was. Maybe it was Michael Wilson. I'll figure it out.
He had a couple games for them, but it wasn't all season.
Who?
He just had a little stretch. Michael Wilson. He had like a 4 or 5 game stretch. Yeah, but I mean, the Cardinals did kind of cook. Marvin Harrison Jr., Darius Robinson with their second first-round pick.
Love that.
Max Melton, Rutgers corner in the second round.
Mac. Oh, that's such a good freaking pick.
Trey Benson in the third.
Good.
Illinois guard Isaiah Adams in the third. Illinois tight end Tip Ryman in the third. Boston College corner Elijah Jones in the third. How many thirds did they have? They had 4 thirds.
They were moving. I think they made a trade with. They made a trade. I think they traded back. They got more picks.
They had 7 top 100 picks.
Yeah.
And their 8th pick was 104 overall. They got Texas Tech safety Dadrion Taylor Demerson.
Okay.
Then they got Xavier Thomas in the 5th. Texas offensive tackle Christian Jones in the 5th.
What's up, AJ? How you
So
doing?
AJ,
Miami quarter Jaden Davis in the 7th, and Alabama Birmingham wide receiver Tajon Palmer in the 6th. So a ton of picks, ton of premium picks.
Also, let me just give you a shout out to the Panthers for signing Jalen Coker, the wide receiver from Holy Cross, as an undrafted free agent. I like him a lot.
Yeah, we'll see if he makes the
and
team. He got a chance.
And Jeremiah Thrash, one of my favorite receivers.
He went to the Browns, right?
He went to the freaking Browns. Man, that was a good pickup. That's not a bad team to beat you. I mean, you're kind of wide receiver heavy right now, but I mean, they are a more spread team or trying to be. I think that's the issue right now in Cleveland is they're like they went from obviously building through and going through Nick Chubb and not knowing whether Nick Chubb will be back to start the season or how healthy he will be next year. So now it's like, okay, we have to fully go through Deshaun Watson. But like Deshaun Watson kind of low-key gave up on us last year because of his shoulder. So it's like, I got them in a bit of a pickle right now. Go Birds. Yes, Howie put on a masterclass as well.
Again.
Big surprise. I mean,
how do y'all feel? Go ahead. Sorry.
Now he was able to get like another 3rd and 4th next year's draft while still getting some of the top talent. They would help rebuild the secondary. They desperately needed to do, and got a bunch of freak offensive linemen, all 6'7", 6'8" guys. They got someone through the NFL Academy, either NFL Academy or the international pathway, like a 6'8" guy who can move. And he's like 6'8", ran a 4.81, played rugby and box. I was like, damn. That could have also been the Lions guy. Between the Lions and the Eagles, they got like somebody through the NFL Academy or pathway. I don't think this guy can move, but obviously he didn't know how to play. So, Stoutland U. Yeah. What were you going to say, Christian?
How do you guys feel about the Keon Coleman not making it in the first round? A.D. Mitchell going down, just downhill. The fucking Buffalo Bills just trading up ass for ass, giving up that pick to Chiefs. How do you feel about that? The wide receiver groups were definitely not in the order that people thought. Like 1, 2, and 3 went that way, and then it just started going crazy. Because even Troy Franklin and A.D. Mitchell were kind of like, on the pick next type of thing, and they just kept falling and falling. Even to where Lab McConkey and the Purcell guy got picked up before them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those things to where there was some rumors about A.D. Mitchell and his attitude issues, and then the same with Troy Franklin. So there was enough smoke that caused people to stay away. I mean, I'm really mad that he went to the Colts because the Colts got a fucking good one. I mean, this is kind of like, best case scenario for them. Lab McConkey just fits what, Jim Harbaugh wants to do. So it's kind of like he's willing to block because he knew that Georgia's a run first team as well. So he's a guy who's capable of blocking downfield, but he can make plays as well. Keon Coleman, I didn't expect to go to first, to be quite honest with you, with how his pre-draft stuff went down. Just kind of not really testing that athletic. But he looked decent enough. I just thought that, there was guys just a little bit better than he was. But then it was kind of smoke that he possibly could sneak into the first again. So like, I'm pretty sure like there were people who were like, I think I heard there was someone who's wanted to trade up. I think the Patriots wanted to trade back up into the first to get either Coleman or Leggett. But I think, the Bills chose you guys, so the Panthers. But I'm okay. I think Keon Coleman won me over with his press conference going viral. I liked him a lot. I think he has a good chance to do some cool things with Josh Allen, because he got enough wingspan to catch all of his overthrown balls. So,
damn.
Yeah. I don't know. Keon Coleman's press conference was pretty hilarious. He's talking about buying his jacket from Macy's. You got to buy it 2 seasons in advance so you can get it for cheap.
Smart man.
But yeah, I think both of those receivers were overdrafted, Leggett and Keon Coleman. I think there were definitely some better receivers that got drafted after them.
Respect
it.
So,
well,
I'm gonna wrap this up with a little fun. Way too early mock draft for 2025.
Oh, brother.
You got to finish with the way too early mock draft. And I got a PFF one, got James Pierce Jr. edge from Tennessee going first to the Carolina Panthers.
Damn.
Okay.
We get the first pick again? Yes, sir.
They got Mason Graham, interior defensive guy from Michigan. They got Will Campbell going third to the second pick was the Patriots. Third pick is the Broncos. They got Will Campbell, tackle from LSU. Fourth pick, Tennessee Titans, and they got Will Johnson, Michigan, corner. And then at 5, they got Giants picking, and they going Carson Beck from the Georgia. I'm excited for that. They got Washington picking 6 with Colorado's own Travis Hunter.
Ooh.
And they have him as a corner.
He's happy right there.
And they got Cardinals at 7, Kelvin Banks Jr., Texas tackle. Deion Walker, defensive interior to the Vikings at 8. Shador Sanders
to the Falcons.
To the Raiders at 9.
Damn.
Quinn Ewers 10 to the Seahawks. Jalen Milroe 11 to the Saints. Benjamin Morris, quarterback to the Bucks. Luther Burden. I'm just going to go to notable names. Luther Burden, the third. Way too low for my
big facts. Luther Burden is a dog.
They got Luther Burden at 14 to the Steelers, which will make me stick. Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia to Jacksonville at 16. Harold Perkins at 18 to the Bears, but I feel like that's low.
Well, they got him at linebacker instead of edge, which is what he's playing at LSU now. Because he legit is probably too small to play on the edge in the NFL. He's like 6'1", 230.
Yeah. But he's a freaking dog.
He is.
Jack Sawyer, edge to the Falcons. Emeka Ibuka to the Dolphins at 23. Isaiah Bond, 24 to the Packers.
Ooh.
You know that's not going to happen. They don't draft
receivers. Chris Polk's boy, Evan Stewart, 25 to the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's interesting. Ollie Gordon, Oklahoma State running back, 28 to the Bengals. Running back in the first. Ollie Gordon is nice, though.
He is.
Jamar Muhammad, 31 to the 49ers. Yeah.
Did the Ohio State guy pop up or no?
Which Emeka Ibuka?
That's the wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to come out in this year's draft, but then change his mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, didn't he transfer to Syracuse?
No. He made a sick-ass catch in their spring game.
It was a receiver that I thought he transferred to. Or did he enter the portal and come back? Because I know
there's a lot of them.
I know the quarterback went to Syracuse. Whatever the frick his name is, I can't think of it. But I thought they had a guy that transferred to Syracuse with him. I think he might have been a Georgia guy. I'll do this later. But no Cam Ward. I don't like that. I think Cam Ward's going to be electric next year. I think a lot of people talk about, next year's draft is not going to be good. But it was like, buddy, we said that last year about this year's class. Obviously, it was like Caleb Williams, all about Caleb. But then it's like, this year I think it's going to be fun because we can see someone who's going to truly take over and just like take the next step. And I think Carson Beck is going to be that guy. Shador Sanders for sure. I want to see what Jalen Milroe is going to be like in this Washington's offense. Then coming over to Alabama, I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Can Quinn stay healthy?
What?
What?
Jalen Monroe?
Yeah.
Milroe went where?
No, the Washington Huskies entire team went to Alabama.
Oh, like you said, I was like, whoa, wait. My brand went to Washington? I was like, damn, everybody trying to be like Michael Penix.
But even though I think the offensive coordinator did leave to go be the Seattle Seahawks OC or quarterback coach or something like that. So yeah, there's gonna be guys. We just got to see if they're going to step up and take the realm of being like really good. And I think with Carson Beck, he's going to have that like the prototypical size, big arm, accuracy really well. And let's see him sling it a little bit more, be a little bit more dangerous this year. Cam Ward has the electric ability to like take over team, but can he take his game to the next level? Can Jalen Milroe consistently be a middle, short, deep passer to be electric consistently? Can Shador raise up the Colorado team to win more games and to show more poise as a starting quarterback and be better under pressure? Can Quinn Ewers stay healthy and to continue to feed his weapons that he has at Texas? So there's a lot of questions, and I think they'll answer them positively or negatively as we get to the season. So, but thank you guys for watching our draft reactions. You guys have any final comments, anything you want to get in before we wrap it up?
I don't think I ever gave my final grade for the Panthers.
What is your final grade?
C+.
Okay.
Maybe B minus C+, that range.
It's passable.
Good, but possibly mid.
Right.
Like, I like the Brooks pick. I just don't know about the value of trading up for a running back. When, like I said, we were
like you could have got Trey Benson a little bit later and still maybe gotten the center.
Yep. Or we could have drafted we could have double dipped and gotten AD Mitchell, because that's who we traded to get Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah.
We traded the 52nd pick, which became AD Mitchell to the Colts.
We had a chance to get AD Mitchell. He was right there too, and we didn't. So I don't know. So
I don't know. But yeah, I'll go C+.
C+? Okay.
B minus. B minus C+, that range. I don't know what the difference in those two is. They're about the same.
Well, I would go B minus just because of the fact that you got a second round for next year.
Yeah, but that doesn't. I guess it should factor into this year's draft, but I'll go B minus.
Christian, any final words?
I hope the Falcons have a great summer camp and preseason, and I'm excited for our new fantasy football season this year. So hey, talk trades with me.
No. So the off season is in full swing. We got our new players. There's undrafted free agents. Also, speaking of undrafted free agents, we signed Sam Hartman. We signed a shit ton of corners.
Did y'all really?
Yeah, we signed Sam Hartman.
He was working out down here in Somerville.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so we have a pretty handsome quarterback room. So everyone's like trashing Jeff Driscoll. Anyways, so
I got one more thing to say.
Just because he's ugly.
Damn.
Fair.
Tough.
Yeah. What's up,
guys? The other weekend I went to a golf tournament, a PGA golf tournament in Hilton Head. Met Rory McIlroy.
Hey, shout out Scotty for cashing me out, baby.
Met Scotty, gave him a little, met my favorite golfer of all time, Tony Finau. I'm just letting y'all know I met these
shout
people.
out JT Poston. I know his brother. I went to college with his brother.
I walked right by JT Poston, didn't even know that. I was like, I think that was JT Poston. And we were walking different ways. And I was like, I think that was JT Poston. He was like, it was.
That's
so yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited for what this offseason has to come. Hector Pollen will be bringing you some awesome content coming this summer and as the season progresses. Also, make sure you are watching our YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed and have the post notifications on when we have more videos coming out for you guys to watch and indulge. And we'll be back very soon to your feeds. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight with our reactions. I'm CJ, that's Jonathan, and it's Christian. Have a great rest of your night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.